What are the latest changes for building regulations at the EU level?
If I start, so energy performance for buildings directive revision, and it's going to require all the large buildings, so over 1,000 square meter, to do an LCA by 28, and all buildings by 2030, and that's going to be part of then the energy regulations framework. Short version, Christian.
Yeah, and underlining that, so the EPBD, if we're talking about the EPBD, then it's what Panu just mentioned, the Energy Performance of Buildings Directive. And it is going beyond energy. So in the name there was energy, but now we're talking about decarbonization as well. It is including the whole life cycle. And I guess we should mention that there's other regulation than the EPBD, like the taxonomy is taking on the whole life cycle as well, and that is mainly relevant for investors, I would say, and not to forget about regulation like the CSRD, which is regulating then the ESG reporting, and that has an impact as well on a corporate level. About buildings in use, about the supply chain is only the regulation, but to me it's a game changer. There will be a lot of so-called private requirements that will pop up as soon as we have regulation, and that will flank the regulation itself.
Yeah, quite possibly. So I'm just not sure how much room they have left, because in a comprehensively regulated landscape like the private regulations, they can't do so much more. So the value drivers change a bit. So it becomes more value, becomes less a certification or such, but becomes more the actual measured performance. And from a business model point of view, the paid certifications could have to struggle a bit to figure out how they go about it. But so what's interesting about these regulations is that if you look at the EPBD taxonomy and CSRD, so EPBD looks at energy and life cycle carbon, and already very good because it's an energy regulation at heart. But then if we go to taxonomy, we have circularity, and we also have nominally, let's say, biodiversity. I mean, biodiversity accounting is not really in there, but CSRD has both of these, and in addition it has biodiversity as an actual object of reporting and measurement, obviously only for businesses which are subject to the corporate sustainability reporting directive, so large companies. But I think that's quite interesting, because starting from energy life cycle emissions get into it, and then in these broader regulations they have a couple of other facets. So let's say the coverage of the different sustainability objectives becomes broader. Whether they are becoming more ambitious at the same time, not all, but the trend is pretty good.